Okay, I've totally and utterly completely had it with Windows 8. I installed it on the game room PC, and the Metroid as a starting menu seemed okay, but if you do anything more than just run a single program, if you actually want to use your desktop as a real, or a game room PC even, as a real system, you really need something like this. Classic shell, and that's a start menu replacement, and it actually pushes the Metro interface to the background and makes the whole Windows experience more like Windows 7. And believe you me, I've really tried to work with the Metroid interface, the Metro interface. Metroid, it's a Nintendo game. I've really tried to work with the Metroid interface on Windows 8. I'm always an early adopter and try to see whether or not it will work. And the Metro interface actually will only work on a tablet and on anything like a notebook, even with a touchscreen, a notebook, or a regular desktop system. It just will get in the way, and there's just so many things that you can't work out with the Metroid interface. You know, you can't do everything with the Metroid interface. Configuring all sorts of settings. You actually get pushed back to the desktop quite a bit if you want to go more into the system. It's not like a complete separate way of controlling Windows, and actually they should have done that. You know, make it all configurable and make it all work through the Metro interface. So make the Metro actually a fully fledged GUI, which it isn't. It's just, you know, bolted on. It's not complete, and because it's not complete, it's horrible. I mean, try to make a screen print, or try to print a web page from the Internet Explorer running in the Metro. I mean, I've not been able to do it. And I've been using computers for decades now, and that's something that is just weird. I have Windows 8 running on 3 systems. I have it running on the desktop in my room, in my study. I've done the classic shell modification, which I'm going to show you guys in this video on that, because it makes it workable. I mean, the Metro interface is still accessible. You can actually push that totally away, but I chose not to do that. I have a Windows 8 system downstairs in the living room as a media player thingy. I kept the Metro interface on that because we only, select a single program to load VLC player or Windows Media Center or some other stuff, and just turning it on and just clicking one of the icons, just a single click. That's actually quite doable. So as a simple, a simple device that you just run a single program on and you just turn off, great stuff. I mean, it's really accessible, and you see the tiles and stuff. As a media center interface, it actually works quite well, but you could also choose to run XBMC, for example. Just have that auto starting, and you don't even have to use the Metro interface. Yeah, and in the game room, I was using it similarly to downstairs, but I just... So yeah, let's... I've downloaded it, so yeah, I've downloaded the software, and yeah, basically this just keeps getting in the way. If I start a program or something, everything gets in the way, and so I really want to keep using this, but I want to have the start menu as well. So let's install. I'll be back when I've installed it, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, sorry for the shaky cam, but I've just double-clicked the classic shell setup, and I'm just gonna press next. I accept the terms and press next. Classic Internet Explorer, classic Start menu, classic classic Explorer, classic Internet Explorer, and classic Shell Update. So it keeps itself updated, and it creates a Start menu folder, much like the older programs. So basically, this is a yeah, just oops, and it of course it asks for administrative rights. I'm not gonna check the view README file because I did on the other systems. Finish. So here you have the Start menu, and you can select, and you have to set it up. You can do the Windows Classic, the Windows XP, or the Windows Vista, Windows 7. I'm quite familiar with Vista and Windows 7, so I'm just gonna choose that. And the basic settings are Windows Start Screen, Classic Menu, Start Menu, and I'm not gonna change. I'm not just not gonna change a lot. And the skin, yeah, if you want to change this shell, that which is a, well, I'm just going to zoom in a bit, if that's possible. No, that's not possible. It's not the best. I prefer something different, so I'm just going to do click the all settings, so you can actually do a lot of customization. You can actually push back the whole Metroid interface. What's it? The menu look, the start button. I want to use the Metro button, because if you do that, it actually changes to something better. And I'm just gonna do the. Let me see. There's something like use small buttons. I'm just going to use the big buttons. You can actually see how that works. I'm just gonna close this, and I'm just gonna reboot. Oh, and I have to I have to update certain. So I mean, this is also Windows, and as you can see, my TV has seen better days because there's a gradient. So I might actually go for another TV in the coming months. But yeah, I'll be back when this system has rebooted and show you the difference. Okay, my computer has decided to reboot. So it's a Core 2 Duo system running at 2.66 gigahertz, and yeah, you can actually see how fast it'll boot up. Most of the time, it'll boot up slower after an update. But and that's the big thing about Windows 8. I mean, it does some sort of save state, so even on regular hard drives, and this is a regular hard drive, it'll boot up very fast. You know, in a couple of within 20 seconds, your desktop is actually there. And yeah, as you can see, it's running a lot slower now. But that, for me, was a major selling point for me to move over to Windows 8, because file operations and booting up and closing down, the computer actually goes a lot faster if you are not forced to update. You know, if you plug in a USB device, it just, you know, it just and yeah, and of course I'm running a dual screen. I'm a big sucker for dual screen, but yeah, I'll probably have to input my oh yeah, it's still configuring, so that's why it is updating slower. So this won't be a regular start, and this is the main screen. Oh look, configuring updates, 70% complete. Don't shut off the computer. That's in Dutch. And the other screen, oh look over here. So you have the regular start screen, and now I have to log in, so I'm just going to turn away the camera for a bit. So it says welcome, and normally you would actually be pushed to the Metro interface, and now you're actually pushed to the desktop, and you have the start menu. And this is actually free software, which makes it very, and the good thing, it's also multi-language, so it actually takes on the various languages, and this is actually the Dutch language version of the OS. So it is possible to go back to Metroid, because you can just do this, and then you have the regular starting menu. So yeah, I mean, there's more. There's a ton of other systems that actually allow you to modify Windows 8, but some of them really totally take away the Metro interface, which is not a good thing, I think, because Windows 8, you should be able to go back to the Metro interface, and I mean, it has its merits. I mean, it looks pretty, it's new, it's fresh, it's snappy. You only have to click once on the icons, and I mean, if you just want to do simple things, the Metro interface is good enough. But yeah, I'm more I like to multitask. So and I don't have a touch screen. I'm not going to touch my TV. So so yeah. Yeah, and it says your PC was booting 82% quicker than before the installation of AVG. That's my video, what is it, my virus scanner. And yeah, actually I did buy something. I'm not a big fan of digital downloads, but I do have a Steam account, and what I did actually was I bought some stuff. The Sonic, there was a great Sonic deal on Steam. I don't think it's valid anymore, but I bought Sonic Generations, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sega Classic, Mega Drive Classics, and this is actually the one where I bought it for, Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed, Sonic the Hedgehog, another game, Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and Sonic CD. Actually all the Sonic games for only, I believe, 32 euros, which made it an excellent deal, because the Sonic racing game alone, was good enough for that price. But I actually got all the Sonic games, even the older games on the Genesis or the Mega Drive. So yeah, great deal, and you can still get them separate on Steam. Of course, a lot of them use all sorts of emulation, but they really run very smooth, even on this system. So I may actually do a video on that in a while, but yeah, I mean, coming back to the Windows, I like Windows 8 because it's fast, and it features a new version of DirectX, and running games on it is actually quite cool. But yeah, modifying it with something simple like the Start menu, it just wedges itself into the desktop. It's not a major overhaul or a change of the OS, which breaks with future updates. It's just a simple program that just wedges itself in between, changes some settings in the registry to push back the Metroid interface, or the Metro interface. I'm just gonna keep calling it Metroid. I'm not sure why, but I think it's a Nintendo thing. Yeah, I kept the hot corners. Some people actually also get rid of the hot corners, so the Metro interface is really pushed back. I chose not to, because I do like to be able to access the interface. But yeah, I think it's a good way to make Windows 8 more usable on a non-touch desktop environment, and even in this environment, because I've installed a ton of software, and I am really changing between those a lot, and yeah, Metro just doesn't cut it. And and that's the cool thing about it, you also have access to the apps from the Start menu. So if you do want to use a Metro app, you can just click on this and it'll just pop in front of us. So yeah, the best of both worlds, I say. Curious after your thoughts on Windows 8, and if you've moved over to Windows 8, and what you think of it. And yeah, okay, Mark signing off, and I'll be back with another video soon. Okay, this time no exploding mouse, so you have to do